the New England Patriots have been called a lot of things throughout their careers. Some people call them cheaters. Some people call them champions, geniuses. But former Patriot tight end Martellus Bennett came out and called their backup quarterback at the time, Jimmy G. He just straight up called him a and I don't know how to take that. I don't really hear NFL players come out and say stuff like that too often. It's a pretty brash move, pretty crazy that someone came out and said that. But I think you have the full story on this. Before we get too much into it, though, Nick, I want to ask the Patriots fans below. Jimmy G was around in New England for a while. You got to know him a little bit. Do you think that Jimmy G? I don't know. You tell me. So comment below on your feelings on Jimmy G. But Nick, what is this story even about?
All right, so this is according to outkick.com. I'll try and keep it together through this here. So Martellus Bennett was on a podcast, and he was walking through and talking about Garoppolo, and here's what he had to say. Quoting Martellus Bennett here, "You can't win with for a quarterback," Bennett said. "We lost 2 games. One of them is because Jimmy Garoppolo was being he quit before us on the last, decided not to play before the game. So he went out there, and Jacoby Brissett came out and played with a thumb and played his heart out. But Jimmy was just being about it all. And he's still being like, that's why you can't win with for a quarterback." So yeah, so this is kind of strange, obviously. To me, I mean, maybe Garoppolo had some issues. Garoppolo, they didn't get along. Maybe was being a little bit prima donna, maybe focused more on his career. But like, what's that cinema Martellus Bennett? Like, this was 6 years ago. This was 2016 when Brady was serving the Deflategate punishment. Like, the fact that it's still bugging Martellus Bennett to this day. I mean, this is more on Bennett, right? Like, grow up a little bit, right?
Yeah, I think the fact that he just came out and called Jimmy G like 6 times in like short fashion, he needs to get over it. It's kind of crazy. But, I think it's less of, the name calling that Jimmy G was deserving of, and more so that if you take a deeper look, Jimmy G knew that he was going to move on from the Patriots, kind of like we talked about, and it was more of like a business decision to go out and not get injured. He's going to baby rehabbing his thumb. He's going to make the financial moves, get himself right, get himself healthy, not risk any, I guess, unnecessary injuries.
Yeah.
I guess is the word I was looking for. Not an unnecessary injury, because he knew he was about to get a big payday
or big
coming
opportunity,
in.
at least. Yeah. Well, and I think the thing is with the Patriots, right? They always pride themselves on drafting smart players and developing smart players. One of the problems is when you develop smart players, they sometimes understand like how to make more money and how to do smart things for them personally in their career. And that's obviously what Garoppolo was doing here. And look, Garoppolo for a while was probably told he was going to be the heir apparent to Tom Brady. And then obviously that wasn't going to happen. So he knew his career was going to be extended by a trade somewhere else. So the only reason he was going to hurt his playing time and potential big payday was if he got seriously hurt. He had 2 nice games earlier in that season. The Patriots started 2-0. He hurt his thumb towards the end of the game. I think it was against the Miami Dolphins. So he obviously sat out against the Houston Texans, got traded later on. And obviously the rest has been history with Garoppolo. But I just can't get over a little bit about Martellus Bennett here. Because, I mean, Martellus Bennett's like 35, 40 years old.
Yeah.
Like, you can't call a grown man, like, I wouldn't even call that to his face, but on like a podcast.
Yeah.
Like
probably like out of nowhere for Jimmy G. Like, that's the last thing on his mind. Like you said, it was like 6 years ago. And he's like, he still thinks about that. Like, that's what we're getting at. Obviously the Bennetts, if we're going to be honest, haven't been known to be like the best locker room guys. They've been, especially like Martellus throughout his career, has kind of been like an abrasive personality, a little rough around the edges. And Michael has been, kind of similar as well. But, I think, like you said, you kind of have to get over those kind of things and move on. And more so, be happy for your teammates' success. You got to move on for something like that. Jimmy G went to the 49ers. He was relatively successful. He's probably going to get traded to another team this year. and become even more successful, hopefully. But don't dwell on the past. Just, you got to move on. Be the bigger person. Move on from it.
Well, especially with the Patriots, right? This is an organization that struggled to win games, right? They were a losing team that season. They went 5-11 or wait, never mind. They won the Super Bowl that year, right?
Yeah.
You know, they had the greatest comeback in Super Bowl history at the end of the year. Martellus Bennett played a big comeback. Why is he not talking about that? I don't know. He's living in the past, but either way, this is definitely one of the weirder stories we've heard this offseason about Jimmy G, Martellus Bennett, and the whole Patriots deal.
Hey, Nick, you want to get some awesome NFL merch like this? If you want the best, most high quality NFL merch that you get, go check out Ultra Game NFL, one of the NFL's top sellers on Amazon. They sell the most premium NFL merch money can buy. So if you want to check them out, where can we find them, Nick?
Yeah, exactly. Check them out in our description box below. We got all kinds of great affiliate links you can use that get you directly to Ultra Game NFL's store with all the greatest high quality merch for your team. Use these affiliate links. It's a big help to us for our channel at no extra cost to you. Check it out. Ultra Game NFL, the best gear you'll ever find.